Hello, everybody. Welcome to VWG. I have a very special guest here, a playwright, props designer, singer-songwriter, Matteo Esposito.
Hi everybody, how you doing?
Oh, I'm sure
Hey,
everyone is doing great. Before we get
thanks.
to,
Thanks, man. Go ahead.
you're
Yes,
welcome.
thanks for
Before
having
we
me.
get to the questions,
Please,
there's
yes.
what do you want? What do you? Before we get to the questions, there's something you want to talk about that not a lot of people know. What's the what?
Right. Right. So there's a lot of stuff that I will be going into with Graham, and first of all, I'm autistic, and my play, sorting it out, went to the Richmond Hill Performing Arts Center just this past week, and I know it was a win for all of us. And and it's direct from New York, and I wrote it based on a true experience, which I would love to talk to you about and all this stuff. And and that's like Ellie was even mentioning in the auditorium, like guys, I don't know. And Ellie is the person who booked me, nicest man, and it was a pleasure working backstage with the Richmond Hill Performing Arts Center because I've been to, excuse me, performing arts centers, and I've been to indoctrination camps, which I'll talk about in a few minutes, and of course businesses, which is AKA college and university, hint, hint, hint. And I had to study technical theater, and they came across nice, wash your face, but really, are they? So yeah, so I have to go back to my roots and say that I'm truly blessed to tell these stories because of the fact that not many people would get up on a fucking stage and say the stuff that the play does. I put the R word in there because of the fact that people still use it. I don't like, I'm not here to offend anybody. I'm here to teach. That's my purpose in life, using stories and using sets and using a very simple tactic of theater. Like you come to the theater thinking something else, but we actually show you this is the way that we think, we speak, and this is the way that we get mistreated. So yeah,
Mhm.
and using four male actors, including myself, I was on stage as Nick, and don't get me wrong, it was fun playing Nick, but who was the autistic character in my play. But I do have a big, huge friggin' responsibility to carrying the show to new heights, which I'm hoping that more schools will have me in and or come because I think these, and I call these high school students kids because they are. I'm
Mhm.
27. I look like I'm 19. Okay, I've been around. I may not look like it, but I've been around in the entertainment industry as well. The first show of sorting it out was in 2019. So, welcome here. I was Nick, and Garrett, who you saw as Ed. Yep, he played Ed in the original production. So I'm thrilled to have him back. Anthony, who directed the production, my uncle, and um, he's a musician, filmmaker, all this amazing, amazing stuff, right? He did the fight choreography, and that fight was over in a flash, like that, like like one stroke, like bang, and that's it. It felt like like not even a minute, not even 2 minutes. It was like a 20-second fight, but it felt like just a second because it just went like a speeding train, like
Mhm.
faster than the speed of light, and I
Yeah,
think that's
yes.
great, you know what I mean, right? And you were there, so you saw, and I think that Ellie said, and you can correct me if Ellie or am I wrong, because I was on stage. Ellie said, I don't think the audience, you couldn't hear them breathe. They were like that. That's what Ellie said. In the green room, you could barely hear the kids breathe. They were so focused, and they're like, "What the fuck just happened?" Well, what the fuck did happen was we showed you a story basically based on reality.
Mhm.
And I can't really take that back. Reality is reality, and there's nothing but reality. The same thing with the truth. The truth is the truth, and there's nothing but the truth. And I'll tell you something before we go into these questions, but I already answered a few of your questions simply just a few seconds ago. But I'll tell you something, and tell your viewers something. I'd rather be held at gunpoint. In fact, I rather be held at gunpoint, not checkpoint, not the airport, gunpoint. for telling the truth than to be surrounded in this world into engulfed in a funny fucking pack of lies.
Wow.
And that I know that sounds like, wow, how you're an autistic kid and you would say that? Yes, I would. And I don't care. I will not hold back anymore. This world is fucking evil. So evil that people need to put on their glasses to really see what this world is. Exactly, Graham. Exactly. Like, I agree. And people don't. People don't. People want the stuff. I'm going to make money. I'm going to have a great career. And then when you get in debt, I'm in debt. Great, lucky you. You know, it's like the good old fashioned American dream and people, or the North American dream, as I would like to call, because America, you know, I don't want to make fun of anybody, but I will be mocking a few people during this interview to make people aware that,
Okay.
yes, no offense, I'm a human being, but I don't want to, but I'm not trying to mock anybody in for the bad context of the bad. I'm trying to make people understand, not that it's okay to mock, but or doing anything like that, you know, but honestly, but like there's a lot of honesty and a lot of lies and a lot of hidden agendas and just a lot of stuff. And yeah, so yeah, like I couldn't be more blessed in being honest and telling people what I feel and how I feel using theatrical means, simple theatrical means, like cups, mugs, props, tables. We give the audience what they want, what we want them to see, not that what they want to see. You know what I mean? If they wanted to see a big flashy show, you can go to Mirvish. You can go to the Royal Alex, Princess of Wales, CAA at Mirvish, or CAA Theatre, which is the Mirvish's, the Elgin Theatre, and or theaters in Toronto. For sorting it out, you're not going to get a flashy production. You might, the flashy is the stroke lights, bang, 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 when the fight happens, and that's it. Simple elegance of light, simple movements of, but it really gets to a boiling point that I'm so honestly blessed that, like I said, I can't be more blessed in telling the story. And I was like, God, if this is my career, let it be. Not the Beatles song, that's a good song, but you know what I mean, right?
Yes.
Um, you know what I mean? And I think that, you know, and I think that I'm just hoping that somebody out there likes what they saw, especially at the 11 o'clock performance. And in fact, people were raving about it. This teacher from Richmond Hill um, said, rarely has my students connected with such a performance or something like that along those lines. I'm like, sometimes when I get these things, I'm like, what the fuck did I do? But it's a good what the fuck did I do? Not a like what the fuck did I do? Did I murder somebody? No.
Hmm. Hmm.
Know what I mean? Like I'm like it's like you know it in a good way. But and then they said we talked about it all afternoon onwards. I'm like and then she said it will be a play that we'll never forget. And we'll I showed that we will never forget a performance that we will never forget, and it will have an impact on us for a long time to come. I literally put this is what I did. I put the phone down upstairs. Fuck me. And literally, I'm like, how? How did I deserve this? What am I doing to people? Not in a bad way or a good way, but in a confusing way that I'm asking, what am I doing to these people? Am I
Hmm.
changing their lives? Am I making them think? Like, I want to get to the bottom of this. And that's the most confusing thing about my work is it touches people. It pushes buttons that I think that they have never gotten pushed before, whether they're
Hmm.
8, 7 student to a college first freshman, right?
Hmm.
To a person who's teaching, right? And
Right.
you were there, Graham, and it was like, and I felt bad for this one young man. I don't know if he was in the front row, and the aisle, and or somebody said, I was talked to like that before. Like I don't know if you heard, but like, one of the audience members was, I was like talked like that, like using your word, like you can't do anything. You look normal, all this thing. I'm like, And my response was, well, that's reality. But really, I felt like, but really now, if I was there, I'm like, I'm sorry that happened to you.
Mm.
Now, because I realized some things 10 times after.
Mhm.
And, and there's a lot of stuff that happens in sorting it out that basically happens in real life. Like, for example, the line where he doesn't look to me like he needs help. How many times you wouldn't want to know how many times people say that, oh, you look normal, like, to me. And I'm
Mm.
like, and my response is kind of sarcastic but funny, and I hate to say it, but you don't look like you have autism. Okay, hey, smart ass, does autism have a look? And he's like, dumbass. And that's it. Like, literally,
Wow.
because think about it. I basically, does autism have a permanent look? The internet would say yes, but do I look like I'm not? There's no look like Down syndrome or cerebral palsy or anything. Autism is up here. They're thinking, oh, he's not low functioning. He is. He can't really. He speaks. He walks. He talks. He thinks. He doesn't look like it, which is to me is complete not a bullshit. Excuse my French. And honestly, and I think that I hate that. And I appreciate the comments that the young men and women were saying, like that scene, and they were all compliments. I had to ask them, what did you learn? They didn't even ask me, Matteo, how did you create this? No. Like, and I think that that's the joy of watching this play and the joy of creating an art piece like this. It's like, no, I'm that character. Wait a minute, am I that character? No, what if I was in this situation? It's all these questions that when they leave the theater, they think. It's not and by the end, you're weeping, you're crying. In the original 2019 production, when I played Nick, there was a gasp with the R word. I want to tell you where it comes in, but of course, there's a boiling point, right? And as an autistic person, I never got called that, but online, only online. And I think this guy was from down south, and that's all I'm going to say about the country, not about that, but you know what I mean, right? And some people are so ignorant, and they like to use words that, like, we all use words, we all swear, we all
Mhm.
be cocky, we all have that moment every once in a
Yeah,
while.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm not trying to be rude and saying that. I'm being honest, 110% honest. But the thing is, we're all human beings, unless we're shapeshifters who run the world and all that. And I'll get to that, like I said, in a minute. And they run everything to do with the government. They run everything
Mhm.
with the corporations. They run everything with the education system. Why is it called a system? Why is the education system called a system? It should be education or simply school, but it's not, right?
Mhm.
Post-secondary education. Why do I have to pay for post-secondary when I don't have to pay for elementary or high school? That's another thing that I would ask. And I know why. Because it's all about money. It's all about one thing, the green stuff with the dollar bills. Has anybody heard of it? It's called money, cash and coins, and a debit card. Or it's all about that. It's all about how they can make money and make us middle class to poor. And it all has to do with faith and religion, believe it or not.
Mhm.
And I hate to say that for the people who don't believe, but I'm a very faithful person. I'm a very spiritual person. As I was telling you, and I think that, I could like just in this room alone, this is my bedroom. I live downstairs because I'm autistic and I couldn't, because the waiting list. Now, hear me out. And it's shocking, but the waiting list for a group home or in semi-independent living is 10 to 15 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. Welcome to the world of special needs independent housing. And welcome to the world of group homes where people assault you, where people swear at you, where people scare you to bits because you cannot stand up for yourself because you don't have a voice. I'm talking about the staff. not about the people who live there.
Mm.
This is my reality all of a sudden. And this is sad that I have, like, not misconceptions, but it's sad that I have to, when I hear stories like that and everything, and I'm like it shocks me. There was one person down south in Florida that was colored, but hear me out. He was in high school. He assaulted, he was autistic. Hear me out, okay? This was a court case. And I was furious and sad at the same time. This was a guy that taught at a grade 3 to 5 level, but he was in high school and he assaulted somebody. Guess where he went? To jail. What do you believe that?
That's
An
crazy.
autistic, you're telling me, Graham. I agree. And whoever was the judge, I would be slapping him in the fucking face. I hope he's hearing this interview when it goes on air, because that's not acceptable. Cops, the corrupt, I call them, the corrupts, or the pathetic police. Or what about the bastards or bitches security, border security? I have nicknames for all these assholes, including educational assholes. I mean assistants, I'm sorry.
You're fine.
No, I did that on purpose because I want people to really, that kid. Because why are you saying that kid when I'm telling you that they are truly assholes? You know, and they treated like, I remember when I was in elementary school, somebody assaulted me. Like, look, you little bit. Yeah. I went to a Catholic high school, but it doesn't matter. Catholic, public, Protestant, private, it does not matter. It's the same fucking garbage system that people don't understand. Hey! Sorry to swear, sorry to do that. I warned you, Graham, and I'm not trying to be rude. I'm trying to prove a point here. When I did that, you were like, oh, and probably everybody else, good, because now I prove to you a point. Some fucking teachers do that. Scare the fucking kids. How dare you scare the fucking kids? Like, honestly, it breaks my heart. Okay, it breaks my heart to see these kids, whether they're special needs or not, get smacked at, get assaulted, get yelled at.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't do a thing. Sorry. Because if we do, we'll get a holiday, which means suspension. I call that a holiday, by the way. Because we get to stay at fucking home and do nothing. That's a fucking holiday to us. Especially in high school. Holidays. Now, I could sing the freaking Madonna song for all I can. Mm-hmm. Honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Expulsion is a big kick in the ass. That means we don't want to allow you to school anymore. Well, what about the other teachers who actually fucking assaulted us? Or whatever. They could be in freaking jail, not even fired or not even expelled from the board. They could be in jail, behind bars for 5 to 7 years, if not for life, if I could put them in. Mm. And detention as well. Like, detention is just so stupid. I remember sorry, Graham, I'll tell you, I remember one of the people who was in special ed with me in grade 9, 10, 11, 12, whatever, and he got suspended and he couldn't even think properly. And he was like, first name of one of the EAs. And he would suspend this kid who doesn't even know his left from his right. You fucking idiot. Are you guys that stupid as a fucking group of authorizing figures? Like, you know, are you guys that incredibly stupid? Like, I understand if I do something and I can think properly, but this kid couldn't. And you fucking suspend this kid? Fuck you! How dare you do that? And it was in Ontario. The other case that was in the court case was in Florida. And it happens everywhere. It happens everywhere. From the police to the school system. It happens everywhere. And it's all part of the fucking system. To control you. Mm-hmm. To fucking put a mark on you. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry that I get so angry and upset about all this, but it's the passion coming out. It's the storytelling. It's the truth and nothing but the truth. Like I say, And I'll tell you one more thing before we start answering your questions. Okay. If you get offended, not you, Graham, but if anybody gets offended by watching this interview, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you get offended for hearing the truth. I'm sorry. Because it seems to me if you get offended by me, an autistic person telling you the truth, you haven't heard the truth before. Thank you. Graham, you may ask. That was
Wow.
a lot of information. I know, I'm sorry. But honestly, there's a lot more than meets the eye to me. I'm not just an average playwright who can create good work on stage. I'm a human being, but I'm a crazy human being that wants to tell the truth. And not in a
Mm.
bad way, but like anyway.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Wow.
there's a lot.
I re I really got a little emotional when you said all that stuff.
Me
I'm
too.
really glad I got emotional.
I'm glad you did too, Graham. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's no problem. And I hope, like, I don't want to offend anybody by saying all this.
No, no,
I'm
no,
here
no.
to tell the truth, and
Yes.
that's it. That's all.
Hmm.
I'm an autistic person put on this planet to tell the truth and nothing else. Through art, through one of the best things, expressing yourself through theater. Anyway,
Hmm.
thanks, Graham. Go ahead. Yeah.
I respect that. I really respect that.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's very kind of you to say. Very good.
You're welcome. So let me get this started, shall we?
Yes, please. Yes,
Is there
please.
a responsibility to creating works around autism and raising concerns on neurodiverse voices?
Yes, there is. And yes, there is because, as I told another interviewer, if nobody does it, then who will, right? And there, of course, there's a responsibility. There's a
Hmm.
responsibility for every single one of us to use our voices if we have a voice. Again, the indoctrination camps make us scared and make us obey, but not open our mouths and say something. And
Hmm.
here's where it gets complicated. If we say to a hush, like, hey, whatever, like I did before, you're gonna say this person's crazy. But hear me out. If you say it like, please don't do that again, they're gonna take advantage of you.
Hmm.
Think about it, right?
Yes.
Because people love to take advantage of the weak or the quiet, or like, can you please stop doing that? And then he doesn't want me to do that. Let me poke him, but in different ways, but kind of like that. Really? Idiot. Not you, but you know what I mean, right? But
Yes.
yeah, there's a lot of responsibility because, like I said, if nobody will, who will? So, and I'm happy, exactly. And for sorting it out, I've never read a play like it. Like I said, I'm 20 years on this planet. Never, ever, never, ever read a play, saw a play like this, blunting out the truth about autism, asking difficult questions, making people uncomfortable, and then leaving them with a message. I've
Mm.
never had that. Never had that. I never saw anything like it. Never felt anything like it. So why shouldn't there be anything like this written? And because people are scared. People are scared to write something like this. Fuck, do you really think I am? Because I'll tell you right now, Graham, and all the other people, I'm not. You really think I'm scared to tell the truth? You really think I don't know who's running this planet? Do you really think that I actually know who's running this planet? I could talk all day about it and reveal a lot of stuff to anyone and everyone. And people actually commend me. You're giving a voice to the voiceless. I'm like, thank you. That's very kind of you. And like even Ellie, who booked my play, he said, I am the guy, and he even said to the audience, the kids, guys, I don't really think you know what you just saw.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
I know you remember him saying that. And I'm like, and I even nodded my head. I'm like, exactly, Ellie. These kids are seeing true art, not by an artist. I'm a storyteller. This is a good,
Yes.
I'm not a playwright. I'm a storyteller. And the best playwrights are great storytellers. And I think this is a pretty good story that
Yeah.
needs to be told. It doesn't have to be told. I don't want to, but here's the thing, I don't want to tell it. because it always crosses my mind as a playwright, whether it went to New York, Richmond Hill, Oakville, Ontario, whether like this production in Richmond Hill was the seventh production. I'm sorting it out throughout North America.
Lucky seven.
Yeah, yeah, yes. Actually, I agree with you because that's Jesus' number. Jesus' number is 777. The devil's number is, well, we all know that. But you know what I mean, right?
Yes.
Down one times three, or just or plus three, or whatever the heck it is. I don't want to get
Mm-hmm.
into that. I don't want to challenge anybody, but I'm a very spiritual man. And yeah, but like people have seen this many times, and it never ceases to amaze me that says we relate to it. We love your work. Even reading the show online. Like I give people the scripts. One person said I wanted to smack the computer, basically based on Ed. Like, are you kidding me? That's how powerful this character is in the script, just reading the script. That's how powerful this character is. Ed, who was a young stereotypical millennial. We all know who those kids are, always on his phone, being snarky, rude, and sarcastic and all that stuff. But there's a real he's not a villain, and he's not a misunderstood character. He's a manifestation of society. Because when he says society doesn't understand, why should I? Hmm. That sounds to me like he represents society as a whole. Hmm. And he does. And believe it or not, and I'll tell you, and like I said in the email, right? I never knew that that line meant that until a critic actually pointed it out in a review of the script. And I'm the writer of the damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even realize these details, but I'm like, I'm happy that he did.
Mm-hmm.
So he did because of the fact that if he didn't, how would I have known? How would anybody have pointed it out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, yeah. So yeah, so I'm truly, truly blessed that to tell this story. And yes, to answer your question again, to round up my whole expensive answer, yes, there is a responsibility, truly.
I agree with you 100%. If no one
Thank you.
speaks up, then what are we going to do?
Exactly, exactly, exactly. I agree.